So are we ready to set that up there? Well, yeah, you could set it up there right now if you want, but I'm gonna decide to take these screws out first. And I've got to figure out which screws to take out. And you remember, the hook is over here. And so I'm going to take these two screws out. I'm going to put that up so that I can hook it on these two screws instead of the others. It doesn't really matter, really, truthfully. Okay, doesn't really matter. But I'm going to take these two off. Because once I wire it, then as I lift it up there, I could swivel it wherever I wanted to at that point. You see? These are the two mounting screws, but I'm leaving those two, and then after I get it wired, then I'll take it off the hook, use both hands, set it here, and squeeze it over those two that have the slots on there. You know what I mean? I should be up on a taller ladder, but I'm not. And I think I can do it with this small little ladder. If not, I'm all prepared to use the big boy over there if I have to. But I'm still going to keep that. Okay. I'm going to keep the camera rolling, and I'm going to set it up on that hook right now, because that's going to be our next step, right? Okay, so well, I got all kinds of sheetrock pieces down here on the floor. Oh, I'm just going to hook it just like that. Voila. Now see, I may have a slight issue with trying to see the wires on this ladder. I think I'm going to get my big ladder out, and I'm going to leave that set just like that. It's called, that way I can hook up those wires, and see, that's taking all the weight up there. You just don't want to be monkeying around with that, because if I touch that and just get it off of there, that thing's going to fall down on the ground. It's going to get all messed up. Okay, so I got to be careful. So my next step is grabbing the ladder, setting it up over here, and getting ready to connect those wires. Oh, I took that back down because Moni came home and she brought lunch, and then I had to go with her somewhere else. So now it's 2 hours later than it was before, and the sun has changed. But I think you can still see this. Okay, I've got my wire nuts. I'm going to go up there. Got my ladder in place. And I'm going to bring this up here. And just put it over that hook, see? Just like that. Okay. And now I got black to black, white to white, and I guess I'm okay where it's at, like that. You can't really see this part too well, but I'm just taking the stranded wire and kind of wrapping it on the other, and I think this yellow wire nut's going to be fine. It's tightening up just fine. Like I say, sometimes yellow wire nuts are too big. Now I'm pulling on the small wire to make sure it's not going to come out, and it's fine. I gotta be careful with all this, because last thing I want to do is push it off of that hook. Okay? That's the last thing I want. Okay, there we go. That wire's going on. Feels fine. Okay, there. Now I'm going to rearrange these wires gently. I've got to get them pushed up in that little cavity a little bit, like so. And I want to make sure that this is going to push in. May have to rearrange the ground wire just a little, I think, like that. Okay. Now I want to lift that off of that hook and over the top of those two side ones. That and swivel it into place. I got it. Look, I should be able to lift off. And see, if I were to slide this just over a little bit, this thing would come crashing down. But of course, I'm not going to do that. Now I've got to find my other two side screws before I even tighten up these screws here. I probably want to make sure that I can get these other screws in the side. Okay. And I'm not going to tighten it up just yet. I'm going to do the other side. I might be able to do that off my little 3-foot step ladder stool. Let's see if I can't get that. Yeah. Okay. And see, this is pushed up a little bit. I mean, it's about a 1/16 higher than the plate. And it's almost going to be up snug to the ceiling. If anything, I might have a very, very slight gap up there. See, I can kind of push up on it. And I got that one tight. I'm up snug. I'm going to come over on this side and loosen this one up. It's tricky because I'm right up at the ceiling. Now I can push up on that and see if I can't tighten that. My other Phillips screwdriver out. There we go. Okay. Okie dokie. And now I can go back and tighten up those other screws, okay, on the sides. And see, I can kind of push up on it because there's a little bit of a slop right there. I gotta get that snug. Like that. Okay. And I can do that on that last one. Yeah, like I said, these are a little bit different. Let's get you over here. These are slightly different than the ones with the little down rod, okay? There we go. Okay. Okay. Now I'm just going to do a once over and make sure I have the screws tight over here. Those look tight. Everything's tight on that side. Get up on the other ladder over here. You see how that worked? See, you're doing it. You're helping me with it, and you're watching and you're learning. That's just how you do it. Okay, I'm thinking the rest of this I can do without this tall ladder. I don't think I need that tall ladder anymore. And I'm looking at this, and there's on this particular one, there's an orange safety block. This was when they had it in the box for shipping. And so I'm just going to loosen this. See, that little thing comes off. Remove the orange shipping block before beginning fan assembly. And they tell you to do this like one of the first things, but I can do it now, right? I'm just loosening up the screws, and then this thing is going to swivel over and come down. Because whenever you see screws like that, see, like that, that's how you do that. Then you can leave those screws right up in there. Okay? And of course we want the light kit on, and if we didn't want the light kit, I think they give you a plate if you don't want the light to show or not. Okay? So here's another one of my little zip tie, not a zip tie, but just a little tie. And see, these are if you're going to hook up your light. And of course we're going to be doing that. Let's just take a look at this thing down here. See, this gets fit up in there. And they have a white and a black, and the black is just going to be connected up to that blue line that's coming down, and the white's going to go to white. Okay, but before I do that, yes, I'm gonna look at my directions and look at this light. And I don't know if this light trim came without the light or not. It might be designed that, hey, if you get this one, you install it with the light. And if you never want the light, fine, you just never have to turn it on. But I'll look, because see, I think this plate goes on first before this one. And I'll just look at the directions and figure it out. Simple.